thanks for joining me. So today we're going to be just needing a strap. You can always have cushion blanket nearby for comfort and warmth if you need to. So we're going to start lying on our backs, so you can get yourself comfortable when you're ready. So if you take some moments just to take the feet hip width apart, let them flop out to the sides, take the arms away from the body, palms open. And then start to welcome yourself now into your body. Just start to notice how your body's feeling. So make this an observation here without bringing in any judgments, any labels. Just noticing. And then take a few moments to just show your body a little bit of thanks and appreciation for all the wonderful things that it does for you every single day. And then start to move your focus now and come to the breath. Just starting to follow into the natural rhythm of the breath. So no need to try and control or change it. Just feeling its gentle movement. Just connecting with the sensations as you breathe. Each time you notice your mind trailing away into thought, can you just gently guide that awareness back into the breath? So coming back to those sensations. So it doesn't matter if the mind's feeling fairly busy here. Just keep pulling the attention back each and every time you notice the mind's drifted. You can just start to slow thoughts down a little. Arriving back with the breath. So we're going to move into some belly breathing, so some diaphragmatic breaths. So you can bring your hands now onto your lower abdomen, and then we're going to start to take some deeper breaths in through the nose. So you're going to breathe in, so feel the breath as it travels down the body, and I want you to bloat the belly out, so bringing the breath all the way down into the lower abdomen, so feeling the belly rise underneath the hands, holding at the top, and then as you exhale, you can slowly release, so feeling the belly soften, feeling the breath as it leaves the body, and then taking a little pause at the bottom, and then start to breathe in again. So filling up, feel the expanse through the belly, pausing, and then exhaling. Slow release as the breath leaves, deflating back. And let's just keep moving steadily now in your own time. So noticing how it feels to breathe a bit deeper. So we're bringing in more oxygen, releasing a little bit more carbon dioxide. And quite often you'll find that you've been breathing quite high up in the lungs, so shallow breaths. So this kind of breathing really encourages us to use more of the lung capacity. Just taking it nice and slowly, no force. So same practice with the mind. If it starts to drift off into thought, you're just gently guiding the awareness back to the breath. We'll come into one more belly breath here. And when you finish the pause at the bottom of the exhalation, just allow the breath now to relax and settle back into its natural rhythm. Taking a few moments just to notice now how you're feeling from those deeper breaths. Any subtle changes. Just noticing. And then we'll start to invite in some movement. So wiggling into your fingers and your toes. And take a gentle roll of the head from side to side here. And then bring yourself into a nice full body stretch. Maybe a nice big yawn just to gently wake up here. Great, and then when you're ready, draw the knees in towards the chest. Let's take a gentle rock from side to side, massaging into the back. Lovely, and then bring the feet to plant down, so with the knees bent. So we want to have the heels quite close towards the sit bones here, so you can brush the back of your heels with your fingertips, just measuring your distance, and then just rest your arms down by your side. So we're just going to start with the arms moving first. So as you inhale, you're going to let the arms float all the way up into the air and back behind you. Let the backs of the hands touch the ground as you reach back. And then as you exhale, you're just going to slowly lower the arms all the way back down to meet the ground by your side. And again, so inhale, let them rise up, let them float through the air. Stretching back, holding that inhale in just briefly, and then exhale, slowly release. And then just keep moving now your own pace. Just maintaining a deeper rhythm with the breath, so deeper than your normal rhythm of breathing. Lovely, coming through one more time. And then just keep moving now your own pace. Maintaining a deeper rhythm with the breath, so deeper than your normal rhythm of breathing. Lovely, coming through one more time. Maintaining a deeper rhythm with the breath, so deeper than your normal rhythm of breathing. Lovely, coming through one more time. And then just taking a little pause once the hands arrive back down onto the ground. So with the next one now, we're going to push into the feet and lift the hips, and the arms are also going to go up. So inhale, moving up into your bridge, take the arms up and over. And then with the exhale, slowly bring the spine, the pelvis and the arms all the way back down to the ground. And again, so inhale, rising up. Exhale to lower. And again, just moving at your own time. So essentially we can make our practice a moving meditation. So keep bringing the awareness into the body. So feeling into the movement, the sensations. Keep guiding the awareness back into the body. We'll come through one more time. And then just taking a little pause once you land back on the ground. Okay, from here we're going to hug the right leg in towards the chest, interlacing around the front of the shin. Let the shoulders relax down, make sure the neck is long, face muscles are soft. And then you're going to just start to rotate into your right ankle. And then change the direction. And then if you bring your right hand onto your right knee, you're just going to move the knee. So we start to just draw some circles, just working into warming up through that right hip joint. So if you use circles one way and then change the direction. And then come back to centre. And then from here, if we extend that right leg up into the air, you're going to just take a few little points and flexes into that right foot. Just feeling into those different sensations between the two. Lovely, and this is where you're going to need your straps. So we're going to take the belt and place it around the ball of the right foot. Give yourself enough slack here and just let the shoulders soften down into the ground. So you want to push out through the heels. So you might be a little bit further away here. You want to make sure that the leg is fully extended. And we're just warming up, so just go easy. So with an exhalation, just think about just gently pulling on the belt a little bit more. So just increase the hamstring stretch just a little bit. Just building sensations. Take a few deep breaths here. Great, and then if you bring both straps of the belt into the right hand, left hand's going to rest on left hip bone, and then big breath in. With the exhale, let your right leg drop out to the right hand side. You want to keep the back of the pelvis firmly planted on the mat here. So as soon as you notice your left hip trying to move away from the ground, that's where you want to stop. And then we're going to take a few deep breaths here, really pushing out through that right heel, keeping the left foot grounded. Lovely, and then with an inhale, slowly bring the leg back up. So release the belt and then come into a half happy baby. So you want to draw the knee in towards you, holding onto the shin, the ankle or the outer edge of the foot. And then gently pull, and just think about your right knee moving a little bit closer towards your right armpit here. Take a few deep breaths. Lovely. And then release, so you can hug that knee back in. And then we're going to place the foot down next to the left foot. And I just want you to notice the sensations and the energy now in the right leg in comparison to the left. You can take a big breath in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Lovely. And then we'll balance ourselves out by doing that all on the left side. So if you hug the left leg in, give it a little squeeze in towards the body. Rotating into the left ankle. Changing the direction. Bring the left hand onto the left knee. Let's guide some little circles into the hip joint. One way and then back the other. Great, and then extend that leg up into the air. So point and flex through the left foot. Great, and then taking the belt, we're going to bring that around the ball of the left foot now, extending the leg up. Ooh. And again, just finding a point where the leg's straight, where you can start to feel a little bit of stretch into the back of the hamstrings of the left leg. Bring the shoulders so that they soften back down into the ground. Gentle pull with the out breath. We'll just start to build a little bit more sensations. Feeling into the stretch. And then if we bring both straps into the left hand, right hand onto the hip, big breath in, and then with an exhale, we'll let that leg drop out to the left side, keeping the back of the pelvis firmly planting. As soon as that right hip tries to lift, you're stopping, breathing deeply here. And with an inhale, slowly coming back up. Releasing the belt. Let's come into our half happy baby now through the left side. So drawing the knee in, grabbing hold where you can, and a gentle pull down, left knee coming in towards left armpits. Right foot stays grounded. Lovely, and then releasing, hugging that knee back in towards you, give it a little squeeze, and then place it back down on the mat. And just notice now the energy and sensations through the left leg. So hopefully both legs are feeling now a little bit more in balance. And then we'll come into a full happy baby. So you can draw both knees in and send the soles of the feet up with the knees bent. So holding the backs of the legs, or the shins, or the ankles, or the outer edges of the feet, or the big toes, and then you're going to just gently pull down. So thinking about both knees coming into the armpits now, pressing the tailbone down into the mat, make sure the neck's nice and long. You might just want to hold still here and breathe deeply, or you might want to add in a little bit of a rock from side to side. Great, and then we'll draw the knees back in towards the chest. Again, you might want to rock a little bit here, and then we're going to bring ourselves all the way over onto one side and make our way up to seated. So come to cross-legged if that's comfortable, or you might want to come to on the knees, so either way. And we're just going to come into a nice easy seated twist from here. So with an inhale, we're going to float the arms up, And then with an exhale, we'll twist and open to the right. So bringing left hand onto right knee and then bring the right fingertips behind you. So you're going to inhale, grow nice and tall. And then exhale, using your left hand just to gently push into the leg to rotate the upper body round, looking right or looking over the right shoulder. So take some deeper breaths here. Alter the camera a little bit, look like it's going a bit blurry. Okay, so inhale length, exhale can I twist a little bit more. Lovely, and then with an inhale we'll let the arms float back up into the air. And then exhale, let's bring that over to the left side. So placing the fingertips behind, using your right hand now as your little lever to gently twist the body around. Inhale, find length. Exhale, gently twist. Keep the breath moving nice and deep and smooth. Lovely, and then with an inhale we're going to bring it back to center. Exhale, let's rain the arms down. So we're going to use the belt again here. So if you grab hold of the belt, we're going to just make it nice and taut at shoulder width apart. So you're just going to hold and pull it nice and tight. So we're going to work into the shoulders a little bit here. So slowly, as you inhale, keeping it nice and tight, we're going to start to lift the arms all the way up. So they might just go directly up, or you might let the arms drop a little bit back behind you. And then with the exhale, slowly lowering all the way down. And again, so inhale, take it up. Keep it nice and taut, maybe stretching back, start to lift up through the heart. Maybe even lifting the gaze a little bit. And then exhale to lower. Okay, so nice and controlled, just keep moving at your own time. With the breath, so inhaling up, exhaling down. Great, let's come through one more time. Great, and then we can release the strap and just take a few little rolls through the shoulders to release. And then we're going to make our way over into tabletop. Okay, so spreading the fingers, bring shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. We're going to start by extending the right leg back. So if you press through the toes, so you start to just feel into a nice hamstring stretch there, push out through the heel. And then you're going to take a little look around your right shoulder at your right foot. We're just going to hold here for a couple of breaths. Lovely, and then bring yourself back. So we're going to extend the left arm away, so you're finding a nice diagonal line now between opposite arm and leg as you reach. So push into the toes, push out through the heel, and then imagine you're trying to just reach for something just out of reach from your fingertips. Taking 3 deep breaths here. Lovely, and then releasing, coming back to tabletop. Take a little wiggle through the hips just to release. And then we'll come through on the other side. So left leg's going to extend back, so push into the toes, push out through the heel. And then we're going to take a little peek around the left shoulder, looking at the left foot and pausing here. And then inhale to come back, and then now lifting the right arm away, so finding that nice opposite line, that diagonal line across the body, reaching forwards, 3 deep breaths. And then releasing back down, and have a little wiggle through the hips. Great. And then from here, if we take a step forwards with the right foot, so we want to bring the right knee directly over the right ankle to start. Walk the hands forwards a little bit, and then you're just gonna find a little bit of a rock forwards and back through the legs and the hips. Great, and then come back to center. So just creating a bit of a square shape with the legs here. So just make sure that the hips are over the knees. We're going to ground the left hand down next to the right foot, and then we're going to open up into an open twist. So you're going to extend your right arm up, spreading your fingers. Gaze can be up or out to the right, or maybe down to the ground. Taking a few deep breaths now to feel into your open twist. Lovely, and then releasing back, so coming back into your tabletop, wiggle it out, and then we'll move it on the other side. So left leg's going to step forwards, walking the hands forward slightly, and then just finding that gentle rock forwards and back here. And then coming back, so we're going to bring the right hand to ground, stacking, make sure the knees are over the hips are over the knees even, and then we're going to extend the left arm up into the air. And again, just have the head where the neck feels comfortable. Spread the fingers, take nice deep breaths. Lovely, and then releasing down, coming back to your tabletop. Again, wiggle out the hips to release, and then we're going to make our way into a child's pose. So big toes to touch, knees as wide as the mat, and extend the arms out long in front, chin to the mat, or bring the forehead down. And then you've just got a few moments now to just let your body settle here. Enjoying a little mini rest. Taking in your practice so far. And then if you lift yourself back up a little bit, we're going to come into thread the needles arm. So you're going to take your right arm underneath the left and turning your head to the left. And then extending your left arm out long in front of you. So a little bit of a twist now through the upper part of the spine, and a little bit of a stretch into the back of the right shoulder. And then just really allow softness with each exhalation. So nice steady breaths, softening into the shape. And exploring how that feels through the body. And then slowly just bring yourself back up. And then we'll take that over to the other side. So threading left arm through, turning the head over to the right, extending the right arm out long. And then taking some moments to settle yourself here. How does the pose feel through this side? Explore the different sensations. Try and keep the focus here in the body. And then we'll slowly bring ourselves back out. Just coming back to child's pose for a few moments. And then we'll make our way now up into downward dog. So hands shoulder width here, have the feet hip width, and then you're going to lift the hips up and back. And it might be nice just to be still here, or you might want to invite in a little bit of movement, so whatever feels good for you. And then really think about pushing the ground away through the hands, the tailbone lifting up and back here, so we're creating some nice length through the spine. Take a few deep breaths in and out through the nose. And then from here, we're going to walk the feet up to meet the hands. Coming into a little toe squat, so we're going to bring ourselves down here to balance. So have the legs and the knees come together. So either bringing the fingertips on the ground, or you might just use your arms to balance, or you can bring the hands into prayer position. I'll take some moments just to feel down into the feet from here. And then slowly, when you're ready, squeeze the legs together. You're going to push all the way up to stand. Coming slowly all the way up. Come right onto the tippy toes. Right up onto the tiptoes. And then slowly lower the heels back down. Right. And then from here, we'll just bring ourselves now into our mountain pose. So you can either just have the feet hip width or bring them together. And really get a sense of feeling the ground beneath the feet. So feel into your foundations. So we want to draw awareness up now to the crown of the head. So think of the crown of the head pulling up, shoulders softening down. We're going to open the palms and spread the fingers here. So heart space open, navel drawing in, and then I invite you to close down the eyes. Or just have a soft gaze, becoming aware of your whole body now standing. And then reconnecting with the breath. So feeling the breath moving in and out. Lovely, and we'll release. So we're going to come into some warrior dips from here. So if you take a step back with your left foot, have your right foot forward and bring yourself into a high lunge. So you want to bend into your front knee, find your balance, think about the feet being hip width apart here. So like they're on tram lines, and then we're going to bring the hands into prayer position. So hips both facing forwards. So we're going to take some, warrior dip. So we're going to inhale to straighten up the front leg and bring the arms up into the air. And then with the exhale, you're going to bend back into your front knee, bring your hands to your heart, and then dip down with your back leg. So you might just come in a little way, or you might come a little bit further. Try not to let the knee touch the ground. And then with the inhale, straighten up, lift the arms back up into the air. And then exhale, hands to heart, dropping down. Try and keep a nice tall spine as you come in here. And then we'll just move a few more times, just with the breath, inhaling up, exhaling down. Lovely, let's come in one more time. Lovely, then come back up into your high lunge, so bending into the front knee, back leg straight. And then we'll take an arrow lunge, so we're going to take the arms up into the air, spread the fingers, and then create a diagonal line, so lean forwards and bring your arms in line with your back leg. So you've got pushing out energy through that back heel and reaching the fingertips forward. Take 3 deep breaths here. Lovely, and then inhale to lift back up, exhale to lower down. Okay, great, let's step forward, shake the legs out here. It might feel nice to take a nice circle into the hips. And then we'll move in through the other side. So you're going to step your left foot forward, right foot back, find your high lunge, hands into prayer, bend into the front knee. And then with an inhale, straighten the front leg, send the prayer up into the air. And then exhale, bend into that front knee, hands to heart, and soften into the back knee, coming down into your dip. And again, inhale, floating up. Exhale, coming in. And then we'll just keep moving with the breath. Come through one more time. And then coming back up into your high lunge, should I say. And then we're gonna bring the hands up into the air. So hand, shoulder width, spread the fingers, and then tilting forwards, finding your arrow lunge. So that diagonal line, 3 deep breaths here. And then an inhale to lift back up. Exhale to lower the arms down and take a big step forwards. And again, just shake the legs out here. Maybe a little circle in the other direction through the hips. And then bring yourself now back into your mountain pose, closing down your eyes. Take some moments just to process those standing postures. And then from here, we're going to move into chair pose. So if we bring the soles of the feet together and zip the legs up, hands by your side. And then from here, we're going to sit back and inhale, reach the arms forwards, extend forwards. And then with the exhale, you're going to bring yourself back to stand. And again, so inhale, sinking down, reaching forwards. Exhaling, coming back up. Okay, keep going. Squeeze the legs together. So option just to carry on moving with the breath, or with the next one, we're going to stay in the chair pose. So we're going to reach the fingertips forwards, tuck the tailbone under, squeeze the navel in, And then take 5 deep breaths so we can really feel into those more warming, challenging sensations. Two more breaths. Think a little bit more. Lovely. And then slowly bring yourself back up. Taking a little pause here. Lovely, and then we'll come back down to the ground now. So we'll come through a spinal roll. So take the feet hip width apart, knees soft, arms heavy, and then we can roll all the way down into forward fold. So arms can stay heavy, you could hold the legs or you could hold the elbows here. Make sure the weight's shifting into the toes, let the sit bones shine up. And then a few moments just to really feel into the sensation of now being upside down in your inversion. And then from here, we're going to bring the hands back down to the ground and come all the way back down into child's pose. You might take that wide-legged version again, or you might want to have your knees together and you can rest your hands back by your feet. Taking a little pause. And then slowly from here, you can bring yourself to sit back onto your heels. And then we're going to bring ourselves to sit, coming into cobbler's pose. Okay, so we're going to stay upright with cobbler's pose today. So you want to have your heels really close in towards your sit bones, as close as they'll come in. And don't worry too much about how far the knees come up here. We're just going to have the intention to try and let the knees and the legs soften down here. Okay, so you're either going to bring the hands onto the ankles or you might interlace around the toes. So sitting up nice and tall, and then you can take a little bit of a rock from side to side. Great, and then if we come back to stillness, a little bit of a bounce. Okay, and then, so holding on, inhale, sit up nice and tall. And with each exhalation, just think about the legs being really heavy and weighted. So like they're trying to relax and soften a little bit closer towards the ground, even if they don't move at all. Just have that intention of heaviness there. So lengthening the breath. Take another 3 breaths here. And then releasing. So if we help the legs back together and bring the hands back behind you, take the feet as wide as your mat and just allow the legs to windscreen wiper now from side to side, just bringing a bit of movement back into the hips. Lovely, and then you can bring yourself down onto your back. So we'll have the belt handy again here. We're going to come into recline pigeon. So you might need the belt, you might not. So if we cross the right ankle over on top of the left thigh, flexing through the right foot. Option to hover here. If the hips are really tight, you might just want to hover, so not holding on. You might want to take your belt and place it around the back of the left thigh, and you can use your belt to hold the leg in. So coming to here, I think I'm going to do that option just because of my bump. And then, or you can interlace the fingers around the back of the left thigh, or maybe some of us can interlace around the front of the left shin. So you just decide which position feels best. So you want to pull in enough here just so you can really feel into some strong sensations into the right outer hip. So pulling in, and then we want to breathe into that area. Can we bring a little bit of softness in releasing some of that holding on in the right hip? Shoulders softening down, neck long, make sure the face is relaxed, tongue and jaw soft. Take another 3 breaths here. Lovely, and then we'll release down. Okay. Just a little pause just to notice how that right side feels compared to the left. And then we'll bring the left ankle over, crossing onto the top of the right thigh, and then again when you're ready, drawing the right leg in, so either hovering, you might take the belt, you might interlace the fingers around the back of the thigh, or again coming to the front of the shin. And this side might be a little bit different because quite often the hips are maybe more open in one side than the other. And again, just a gentle pull, start to feel into those sensations now through the left outer hip. And breathe into them, see if you can direct the breath, visualizing it moving down into the hip. Nice, smooth, steady breaths. Take another 3 here. Lovely, and then releasing, and then drawing both the knees now in towards the chest, taking a gentle rock from side to side, and just inviting in maybe a few little circles into the knees. And then we're going to prepare to come into final resting pose. So if there's any other movement that your body feels like it needs here, just have a little bit of a roll around, whatever feels good, just to finish off your physical practice. And then you can make your way into final resting pose. So lying on your back, again, feet hip width, let them flop out to the sides, open the palms, spread the fingers. We're going to do 3 cleansing breaths now, just to help the body to soften a little bit more. So we'll take a deep breath in through the nose and then out through the mouth. And again, breathing in and and sighing out. Lovely. Let's do one more like that. Inhalation and exhalation. And then really now allowing stillness. So allowing time for the body to rest, to heal, to restore all of the work that we've just put into the practice. Really resisting that urge to move. And also time for the mind to come to a quieter place as well. So you start to just follow back into the natural rhythm of the breath. Just feeling into that gentle movement. And each time you catch the mind drifting off into thoughts, we're just pulling the awareness back into the breath. Surrendering now into stillness, completely letting go. So slowly you're going to start to bring yourself back. Take your time. Some little movements into fingers and toes. Take a gentle roll of your head from side to side. And then either coming into a full body stretch, so reaching away with arms and legs, or maybe you just feel like drawing your knees in towards you, just giving yourself a little squeeze, or perhaps you want to do both. Take a gentle roll over onto either side, so coming into a fetal position, taking a little pause there. Just noticing how your body's feeling from the practice, how the mind is. And just seeing if you can take whatever you've gained from this practice, so from being here on your mat, just see if you can take some of that energy now with you as you move into the rest of your day. Slowly come up to seated. Keep the gaze soft or the eyes closed. We'll bring the hands into prayer position. Namaste. Thank you for sharing this practice with me. I hope you enjoyed it.